वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ पार्वती परमेश्वरौ जगतः पितरौ वन्दे।
सर्वेभ्यः नमस्काराः। यथा पूर्वमेव आरब्धम् अस्माभिः कुमारसम्भवम् अधिकृत्य प्रवचनमालिका अधुना प्रचलिता अस्ति। अस्मिन् दिवसे अस्य काव्यस्य द्वितीयं सर्गं किञ्चित् परिशीलयामः। तत्र पूर्वस्मिन् सर्गे तावत् अन्तः एवम् अभवत् यत् हिमवान् ज्ञातवान् यत् पार्वत्याः योग्यः वरः नाम शिवः एव इति, परन्तु स्वयम् एव तं याचितुं सः नैच्छत्। तस्मात् यत्र शिवः तपः करोति स्म तत्र पार्वती गत्वा तस्य तपसे अनुकूलतां सा कल्पयति। अतः सा पुष्पावचयं करोति, वेदिसम्मार्जनं करोति, एवञ्च जलानयनं दर्भानयनम् इत्यादिकं कार्यजातं सा कुर्वती शिवस्य उपचारं सा करोति स्म इति प्रथमसर्गस्य अन्तः अभवत्। अधुना द्वितीयसर्गः आरभ्यते। In this sarga, what's happening at the same time is described. There is this demon Taraka who has become extremely powerful, and whenever we have power, we must know how to utilize power. In fact, acquiring power is less important than getting to know how to and how not to use that power. In fact, in the Indian scheme of things, as Kalidasa would let us know, the kings of the Raghu race had their Vidyabhyasa at a very young age. Shaishave Adhyasta Vyakhyana, Yauvane Vishayaishana. In their youth, they would enjoy the pleasures of life. Vardhake Munivartina, in the old age, they would take to the life of ascetics. And Yogenam Tejam, there were some kings who could abandon their body by yogic means. This is something unheard of in the West. Nobody can think of quitting his body or shedding his body as if he can throw away some items from his pocket and dispense with it. So they would dispense with their body like that. So some of the kings of the Raghu race would do that. So it shows extreme self-control. So control over their own self. So in the Shaishava, during the young age, when they are still boys, so they do the Vidyabhyasa. Now the Vidyabhyasa there is essentially one of getting to know what powers we may acquire and what is the right way of using that power. Because the story of all asuras is one of acquisition of power for the sake of power. So you enjoy employing power or using power, but you do not know how to use it properly. And when the person does not know how to use his power properly, then he is apt to misuse it, abuse it. So the first thing that you must know is how to make proper use of power, because it can lead to the ruination of one's own self and of society. So anyhow, Tarakasura has acquired great powers, and the divinities themselves are suffering at the hands of this Asura, and now when it has reached a certain limit, the gods themselves are unable to bear the torment of this tyrant, this Tarakasura, and therefore they go to Brahma and make a request to him. To summarize and to anticipate what is said in this sarga, so they go to Brahma, Brahma inquires of them, so they first praise Brahma, and Brahma inquires what is it that they want from him, and they explain their difficulties, and Brahma suggests a solution in the form of the marriage of Shiva and Parvati, whose offspring alone can ultimately tackle and destroy this demon Taraka. So the canto begins with how the various gods go to Brahma. Tasmin Viprakata Kale Tarakena Yogasaha Virasaham Purodhaya Dhamaswayam Bhom Yayuhu. So they all go, Indra leading them, all the gods go to Brahma. And even as they go to the Swayambhuva Dhama or Brahmaloka, Brahma appears before them. Tesham Avirabhut Brahma Parimlanam Kashriyam Sarasam Sukta Padmanam Pratar Diditi Maniva. Instead of saying, the gods went to Brahma and Brahma appeared before them. So this is just a plain fact. There is no occasion which is not adorned by an Upama by Kalidasa. So he says, so while they were all looking very dull, so their Mukhashri had all become Parimlan, it's very dull. So listless they were because they were helpless and they could not know where from they could get a solution. And when they went there to Brahma, Brahma appeared before them. So Kalidasa says elsewhere, if you proceed to do something, if by accident something good happens or the first steps are very easy, then very possibly the subsequent things are also quite easy. So it is as though there is an indication in advance that your task will meet with success. So Vyakshepo Bhavishyantya Karya Siddhehi Lakshanam. So Karya Siddhi will definitely take place. That is the indication. So similarly, here Brahma has at once manifested before them. Tesham Avirabhut Brahma Parimlanam Kushriyam. And it was like the appearance of the moon or of the sun in front of a lotus where the lotuses had all become dull. So they are not yet bloomed. And with the appearance of the sun, the lotuses bloom. In fact, in the first canto, there is the description of the lotuses blooming. And the commentator points out that actually speaking, there are three kinds of lotuses. There are certain lotuses that bloom even before sunrise. So just as there is the dawn, the lotuses bloom. And there are some for which the appearance of the sun is enough to make them bloom. And for some, the heat of the sun is required to bloom. So the lotuses are classified as Satvika, Rajasa and Tamasa. So we have a high regard for the lotus, but even there are such subtleties that, so it's only when the heat of the sun falls upon them that certain lotuses can bloom. So in fact, the lotuses on the Himalayas, so the Himalayas have such a great height that when the sun arises, some of the lotuses get their sunlight from below, as it were. The mountain is taller and the sun is rising there, and the first rays that they go upwards and meet those lotuses, and even as that light appears, those lotuses bloom. So some lotuses when the sun is at the horizon, and some only when the light falls on them. So anyhow, here the lotuses which are not yet bloomed, so their faces are all dull like the unblooming lotuses. Sarasam Sutta Padmanam. there is a metaphorical expression saying that the lotuses are all asleep, as it were, and Pratar Diditi Maniva. So the sun's rays falling upon them makes them bright, and therefore the appearance of Brahma there was like the appearance of the sun. And you often compare faces to the lotuses, and therefore the faces of the various gods, so which were like lotuses which are dull, would now brighten up. So therefore now they were very happy that Brahma appeared before them. So Atha Sarvasya Dhataram Te Sarve Sarvatomkham Vagisham Vaghirathyavi Pradipatyo Padasthire. I had earlier planned doing one sarga per hour per talk. So there are some portions in this kavya which require a more detailed explanation, and therefore I will try to dwell on those portions, especially some of the philosophical portions that Kalidasa most beautifully brings out. So Kalidasa was preeminently a Vedantic poet. My guru used to call him, he is a Sankhya yogin, so he was a master of Sankhya and Yoga. If you look into the Mahabharata, everywhere there is a great praise of Sankhya and Yoga. So in the portions of the Mahabharata, you don't find much of a difference between the Sankhya and Yoga and Vedanta. Okay? So it's only in the later development that we find that Sankhya tries to develop its own line, Yoga its own line, and there are some areas of conflict between these three, Sankhya, Yoga and Vedanta. So the Sankhya and Yoga of, for example, the Bhagavad Gita also says, Ekam Sankhyancha Yogancha Yat Pashyati Tapashyati. So it says the Sankhya and Yoga are equally powerful ways. So in Vidyanidhi's Panchadashi, there is a very beautiful differentiation between for whom Sankhya is excellent and for whom Yoga is excellent. So the two are complementary paths, and the two are supplementary also to each other. And in that text, there is a beautiful description of how Sankhya and Yoga are very helpful. So Kalidasa was a master of both Sankhya and Yoga, and the kind of Vedanta that Kalidasa brings out is something where you don't find the kind of conflicts that we find in the later days. For example, between Dvaita, Dvaita and Vihitamrita, you find so much of conflict. Okay? Those conflicts are not to be seen in Kalidasa's works. So that also happens because of the development of terminology and some hair-splitting arguments developed and so on. So whatever be the case, the words of Kalidasa come so close to the Upanishads, and he is very well rooted in the Indian tradition. And if you want to recapture Indian tradition at its best, in its pristine glory and beauty, you must go to Kalidasa rather than to the later writers. So though Kalidasa is a poet, still he has absorbed the spirit of our heritage so very well, including the Adhyatmic spirit. He has captured that very, very well and absorbed it, internalized it so very well, that the very spontaneity of his words, you can see those Vedantic streaks and streams, so most beautifully deployed. So you must look into those aspects also. I don't want to miss that. And as I must have told you earlier, Kalidasa is the true national poet of India. And if you want to accord the status of a national poet to two more persons, it is to Valmiki and to Vyasa. And I should say none else, because we praise Rabindranath Tagore or Kumarasambhavam or so many other poets, Subramanivarthi or whoever. So as national poets, it's fine. So they know much of our heritage and they present it very well and so on. But even the geography of India, it's only Kalidasa who knows from Himalaya to Kanyakumari. It's all descriptions, authentic descriptions that we get only in Kalidasa. Only recently I met a person who said the descriptions given by Kalidasa, the geographical description given by Kalidasa, even the description of the route of the Megha in Megha Sandesha, so they are all authentic. And the course of the clouds, so in the different seasons, they are all properly noted by Kalidasa, and even to this day these are verifiable. So this kind of an intimate knowledge, so not merely of something supramundane and merely philosophical, extraterrestrial, no. So even the mundane things he knows so very well. So much so that Kashmiris would fight and say that Kalidasa belongs to them. So because it's only in Kalidasa that you get a description, authentic description of Kesara Kunkuma. Okay, so and the marriage formalities of Shiva and Parvati that we get, okay, they come very close to the Kashmiri Sampradayas, and therefore Kashmiris say Kalidasa is ours. Okay, there are certain aspects on account of which Bengalis say Kalidasa is ours. So people of Ujjaini and Mahakala, they say Kalidasa is ours. So okay, but he knows every part of India very well, and the local customs of every region very well. So the description that he gives, Kalidasa describes farmers and kings alike. Okay, and the innocent ladies in villages and the court intrigues where women are involved and their coquetry and their intrigues, all these are described so very well. And this way, Kalidasa is an adept in characterization and in observation of nature, of human nature and so on. If we have occasion to look into Kalidasa's Shakuntala, if I can find some occasion to give some lecture on that, this study of the human psychology is so extraordinary. I will try to bring out. Anyhow, here the various divinities have appeared. See, so they have taken resort to Brahma as the supreme resort, and they praise him. So Vagisham Vagbhirathyabihi Pranipatyo Utasthit. So they praise him with very meaningful expressions. He says Arthya means meaningful. Artha is meaning. Arthya is meaningful. Arthyabihi Vagbhihi. So they praise him. They say Namaste Murtaye Tubhyam Prakrishte Kevalatmane Gunatraye Vibhavaya Paschat Vedam Upayeshe. So Kalidasa never misses an occasion to go to the very point of the origin of creation. In Kalidasa's Shakuntalam, the Nandi Shloka itself begins at the point of origin of creation. Ya Srishti Srishtaradya Vahasi Vidhutam Ya Havir Ya Chahotri Ye Dve Kalam Vidatta Shruti Vishaya Guna Yastita Vyakya Vishwam Ya Mahu Saravija Prakriti Ya Pranina Pranavanta Pratyakshabhi Prapannastanubhira Vatavastabhira Tavirisha. So in this verse he says Ya Srishti Srishtaradya, the first creation of the Creator. Okay, so he goes from that point to the most mundane things he makes a description of, and even here, as Brahma is the creator, naturally the point of creation, the origin of the universe, is what he begins with. Namaste Murtaye Tubhyam Prakrishte Kevalatmane Gunatraya Vibhavaya Paschat Vedam Upayeshe. The first thing that we have to notice that this you can get in Kalidasa. The kind of conflicts that developed in the latter day history of India is the conflict between Shaivas and Vaishnavas. So Shaivas try to say that Shiva is superior and Vaishnavas try to establish that Vishnu is superior. In Kalidasa you don't find that conflict. So the three, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, are in a way co-planar deities. Okay, so they take on their roles. When they take up their roles, so it is then that they become supreme. So then they have to be praised as the supreme. Okay, each by in its turn or in his turn, so will get that supreme status, and that is because the Trimurti has a quintessential unity. So Namaste Murtaye Tubhyam. The word Murti in Sanskrit means form. So Trimurti means having three forms. So the single being having three forms. Namaste Murtaye Tubhyam. So our salutations to you, the Trimurti. Prak Srishte Kevalatmane. So before Srishti, you are in the form of the mere Atman. And Gunatraya Vibhavaya Paschat Vedam Upayeshe. And all diversity issues only later when that primary unitary principle takes on the three gunas. So takes up the three gunas, namely Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And therefore, prior to that, so in the Upanishads we get the statement Atma Vaidam Eka Eva Tadra Asi. So it was Atma alone that was. So in the beginning. So this is the kind of statement that we get in the Upanishads, and therefore accordingly Brahma was alone. So there are two words, so I must clarify for the sake of those who do not know Sanskrit. There is one word Brahma which is neuter in gender. So you must decline Brahman as Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani. It is neutral gender. And the other is, should I stop?
No, sir.
And the other is Brahman, which is masculine, not coming there. The other is Brahman masculine, which is declined as Brahma, Brahmano, Brahmana. Now, the masculine Brahman, both are Nakaranta Shabdas. Therefore, Nakaranta Brahma, one is masculine, one is neuter. The Supreme Brahman is Nakaranta, neuter. So, that is Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani. So, it is only a singular one. So, it is when the creation happens, the creator, so that is Brahma, Brahma, Brahmano, Brahmana. That is the forms of the creator. So when we say, when we refer to the three Murti, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, it is Brahma, Brahmano, Brahmana. When we refer to what lies at the root of these three, we have only Brahma, which is neuter. So there is no question of masculinity and femininity at that stage. So that comes at a later stage. So even before the differentiation of these into gender, etc., what lies at the root of the universe is the neutral and the neuter Brahman. So Prak Srishte Kevalatmane Gunatraya Vibhagaya Paschat Bhedam Upeyushe. So it's only afterwards that there are these trigunas, namely Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which are described in Sankhya philosophy very well. So, and in the last 3-4 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, you get the ramifications of the three gunas. This is what is called the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. One full chapter devoted to that. And further some 3 more chapters in the last chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. So shows that everything is in the world, in the entire universe. So in all the 3 worlds, as you would say, so is made of trigunas. It's a manifestation of the permutations and combinations of the 3 gunas. And therefore, Gunatraya Vibhagaya Paschat Bhedam Upeyushe. It's only after that there is diversity in the world. So there is Bheda only after that. So prior to that there is Abheda or utter unity. There is this famous saying, Namo Rajo Jushe Srishtau Sthitau Sattvamayaicha Tamo Rupaya Samhare Rupaya Swayam Bhuve. So the Srishti Karya involves Rajas, and the Sthiti Karya involves Sattva, and the Laya Karya involves Tamas. So in this regard, Brahma takes this Rajoguna, and with this Rajoguna he makes this creation, he creates this world. So this is the first verse in praise of Brahma there. Yadamogham apam antaruktam bijam ajatvaya Altascharacharam Vishwam Prabhavastasya Giyase. And says, your seed in the waters, so the waters refers to the Prakriti, so it is with that creation happens, and that's why you are known as the father of the world. So Prabhu, you are known as the origin of the world. Prabhavastasya Giyate. In the Bhagavad Gita also, there is a statement, Aham Bija Pradat Pita. So I am the father of the entire creation. So here there is a reference to the Srishti. In the Manusmriti there is a description. Apa eva sasarjado tasi vidyam avasrijat. So at first he created the waters, and in the waters he kept his seed, so from which the creation developed. So even in science, we find that the creation of the world is first in the form of the creation of the earth, for example, or of life. Life originated in the waters, we say, what's called the pelagic origin of the universe and of the world, of all life. So all life originated in the waters, they say. And so here there is this description of the life principle starting with the waters. there are two types of descriptions that we get in the Upanishads. One in the Panchabhuta order. So from the subtle to the gross, the Akasha being the first, and then next being Vayu, next being Tejas, and then up, and then Prithvi. Prithvi is the earth, up is waters, Tejas is fire, Vayu is wind, and then Akasha. So this is the order in which it is described. Sometimes some middle point is chosen, and this is described. So Yadamoham Apamantaruktam Bijam Ajatvaya Adascharataram Charam Vishwam Prabhavastasegiyase Tisibhistam Avasthabir Mahimanam Udirayan Pralayastik Sarganam Eka Karanatam Veka. So the same principle attains three states in the form of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and then it creates the world and maintains the world, and then it destroys the world. It's not that it's only the wicked that are destroyed during Pralaya. So once I had been to the Elephanta caves, and the guide there does not know correctly the philosophical foundation, and the guide said, Shiva destroys all evil at the end of the world. It's not all evil, it's the entire creation that he destroys. So that is because there is a beautiful comparison that is given. See, even on a daily basis, there is a Srishti, Sthiti and Laya that is going on. In the morning that we get up and get into activities itself is an act of creation. And whatever we do to earn, to sustain our life, so which we do during the daytime is Sthiti. And during night, so we all go to take rest. That itself is Laya. So within a single day there is this Srishti, Sthiti and Laya that's going on. Similarly, if you look into the seasons, so there also this Srishti, Sthiti and Laya is going on. So you can see how the waters replenish the earth, and then the wind dries up things, the heat burns up things, and then once again the waters, so the rainy season comes. So in this way, that is why they say in Ayurvedic texts, they represent the whole universe as Agni Shomatmakam, as made of fire and Soma. So Agni and Soma. So there is also a description that we get in Ayurveda. So at every stage we find this cyclicity of Srishti, Sthiti and Laya taking place. So if we take our own life, we are born, which is Srishti, we live for some time, which is Sthiti, and we finally die, which is Laya. This rhythm of Srishti, Sthiti and Laya, when we look into the cycle of time, for example, the Kala Chakra, we find that there is a bigger cycle, which is a cycle within a further bigger cycle, and so on. So the four yugas, for example, and then the kalpas, the manvantaras, they are all cycles within cycles that we see. So this kind of appreciation of time as involving cycles within cycles at the vast scales of time that Indians conceived of have been praised by even modern scientists like Ilya Prigogine and then Carl Sagan and others have praised this, that Indians could conceive of numbers which come very close to the estimations of modern science. So, Pralaya Sthiti Sarganam Ekah Karanatam Vikaha. Once again, even in this cycle, actually speaking, we do not actually have a starting point. Even though we say that Srishti began at this point of time. So that in the Puranas we get Chaitre Masi Jagat Brahma, in the Chaitra Masa the world was created. So Yugadi the year commences and so on. So even though we say that, if you look into a clock, for example, which shows time, which is a starting point. So we mark some point as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12 in our clock. But there is no real starting point. So whenever we say there is Srishti, it has to be preceded by Laya and it is followed by Sthiti. And this cycle goes on and on and on. And it's only arbitrarily that we can mark in a way that this is Srishti, this is Sthiti and this is Laya. And therefore, whenever we have to describe Srishti, it has to start with saying after the previous Pralaya, so the new Srishti begins. So that's how it is referred to. Tisirvishtam avasthabhihi mahimanam udiriyan pralayasthiti sarganam ekah karanatam vikaha. And once the Srishti begins, so the life principle that has to be created, so that starts with the division into the masculine and the feminine. So first he speaks of Bhuta Srishti and then Mithuna Srishti as it is called. Stri Punsau Atma Bhagavate Bhinna Murte Sisrikshaya Prasudi bhaja sargasya tavaya pitarau smritau. So the masculine and the feminine aspects are formed, and we see, for example, in the Ardhanarishwara form, the two in one place. So that is how it happens in all Srishti. So in the Upanishads we get, for example, the masculinity and femininity shown as between the heavens and the earth. The heavens shown as masculine and the earth as feminine. In Sanskrit we have this scheme of gender of words, which itself is indicative. If you look at all synonyms of earth in Sanskrit are all feminine. So we get some 38 synonyms for the earth. So as listed in the Amara Kosha, Dhur, Bhumi, Rachala, Ananta, Rasa, Vishwambhara, Sthira, Dhara, Dharitri, Dharni, Kshoni, Jya, Kashipi, Kshiti, Saransaha, Vasumati, Vasudha, Urvi, Vasundhara, Gotra, Puhu, Prithvi, Kshma, Avanehi, Medini, Mahi, Vikula, Gapuri, Dhatri, Gohu, Ila, Kumbhini, Kshama, Jagati, Ratnagarbha, Bhuta, Dhatri, Abhi, Mekhala. 38 words, all feminine, all synonyms of the earth, all feminine. So, and the next is the water. So, with respect to the water, Vayu is considered as the husband and the waters as the wife. With respect to the earth, see, we have the Akasha as the masculine and Prithvi as the feminine, or Deus as masculine and Prithvi as the feminine. So it is then that the name of the parents of the universe that gets to be known. Taveva Pitaro Smritau. So in Manuspati there is this statement how the Brahman created in his own body the masculine half and the feminine half. Dvidhakritva atmano deham ardhena purusho bhavatu ardhena nari tasyam saha virajam asrajat prabhu. In that he created the Virat. 16 sloka.
नमस्त्रिमूर्तये तुभ्यं प्राक्सृष्टेः केवलात्मने तुभ्यं त्रिमूर्तये नमः प्राक्सृष्टेः केवलात्मने नमः गुणत्रय विभागाय पश्चाद्भेदमुपेयुषे नमस्त्रिमूर्तये तुभ्यं प्राक्सृष्टे केवलात्मने गुणत्रय विभागाय पश्चाद्भेदमुपेयुषे स्त्रीपुंसावात्मभागौ ते भिन्नमूर्तेः सिसृक्षया स्त्रीपुंसौ आत्मभागौ ते भिन्नमूर्तेः सिसृक्षया प्रसूतिभाजः सर्गस्य प्रसूतिभाजः सर्गस्य तावेव पितरौ स्मृतौ सर्गस्य प्रसूतिभाजः तावेव पितरौ स्मृतौ पितरौ स्मृतौ
He refers to the gods refer to another aspect of Brahma. So Swakala Parimanena Vyasta Ratrena Divasyate Yautu Swapnavodhautau Bhutanam Pralayodayau. So this idea comes very close to the idea in Saundarya Lahari. Nimesh Onmeshabhyam Pralayam Udayam Yati Jagati. So the time scale of the Lord is so vast that when he closes his eye, the whole being, the creation comes to an end. That is pralaya. When he opens his eye, the whole srishti comes into being. So this kind of time scale between humans and the divinities are shown here. And there are also verses which are full of paradoxes. It says, Jagadyoni Rayonistam. O Lord, you are the original world, but you yourself have no origin. Jagadanto Nirantakaha. You bring the world to an end, but nothing brings you to an end. Jagadadi Ranadistam. So you are the origin of, you are the starting point of the world, and there is nothing to start you or create you. Jagadisho Nirishwaraha. You are the Lord, and you have no Lord. So it is the Supreme Lord, he says. So the description in the Upanishads of Yato va imani bhutani jayante, etc. are very well reflected here. And another aspect of the paradox is that Atmanam Atmana Vedsi, Srijasya Atmanam Atmana, Atmana Pratinachatvam, Atmanyeva Pradiyase. So you know yourself by yourself, you create yourself by yourself, and you dissolve yourself into yourself. So there is what the Westerns would like to brand as pantheism, the equation between the Brahman and the world. So the whole world is also made of Brahman and is Brahman, and therefore even the act of knowing is knowing oneself by oneself, and creation is of his own self by his own self, and then ultimately dissolution of the entire world into his own self.
Jagatyo nirayo visvam jagadanto nirantakah jagatyo nirayo visvam jagadanto nirantakah jagadadihi Jagarisha Nireshwara Jagadadihi Anadistvam Jagarisha Nireshwara Atmanamatmana Vetsi Srijasi Atmanamatmana Atmanam Atmana Vetsi Srijasi Atmanamatmana Atmana Kritina Chatvam Atmanyeva Praliyase Atmana Kritina Chatvam Atmani Eva Praliyase Atmanyeva Praliyase.
Even in Sanskrit grammar, some of the philosophical ideas are so very well explored. Take for example the very first root in Sanskrit. The opening root is Bhu Sattayam, Bhavati, Bhavataha, Bhavanti, etc. we get. So what is this Satta? Satta is being, and even that is very well analyzed. So in texts like Vakyapadiya, you get beautiful analysis of even grammatical concepts. So the concept of being is expounded as Atmanam Atmana Vibhrati Asti iti Yapadishyate. When one supports oneself by oneself, so that is called Asti. So even the concept of Asti is so very well analyzed in Sanskrit. So the question of Brahman's creation, so he knows himself by himself and creates himself out of himself, and that he requires no other external ingredient for this act of creation. So sometimes shown as, so the artist creating his work of art without even the canvas or without even the other items that are required, like the brush and the paint and the color and so on, required for the creation of the work of art. So Brahman, Lord Shiva, creates the world out of himself. So he contains within himself both the Nimitta Karana and the Upadana Karana. So that is what is expounded here. And Twamamananti Prakritim Purushartha Pravartinim Taddarshanam Darshanam Udasinam Twameva Purusham Vidu. Here Brahman is shown as, Lord Brahma is shown as both Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti is the natural force, the nature, so which is the entire world, shows itself as the entire world. At the instigation of Purusha, who is himself motionless and actionless, so the entire creation proceeds, and Purusha remains as the Udasina, so as a person who is totally aloof from all creation. And Tadarshanam Udasinam Twameva Purusham Vidu, you are the Purusha and you are yourself the Prakriti. Twamamananti Prakriti, O Brahma, you are yourself described as Prakriti. Purushartha Pravartini. There is this beautiful scheme in the Sankhya philosophy, namely the entire Prakriti is for the sake of the Purusha, for the Bhoga of the Purusha. Now, we go through various experiences, and when we become mature, for example, we lose all the fancies that we had in our childhood. When we are small kids, so we had so many desires, and when we become mature, those desires are transcended. So they'll all look very silly. So the piece of chocolate or whatever it is that children may hanker after. When we grow up, we outgrow some of those fancies and desires and so on. Similarly, if we really become mature in life, then the kinds of pulls and attractions that ordinary folk may have, they are transcended. And the constant work of Prakriti is to give all sorts of pleasures and attractions to man so that he becomes really mature. But those whose karmas are very strong, they remain enmeshed in the lower attractions, and it's only the one who transcends these that can become a real Udasina. And both these are very well illustrated by the twin roles of Brahma, who acts as Prakriti and who acts also as Purusha. And you also say, you are the Pitru of the Pitrus, Tvam Pitrunama Pita, Devana Pi Devata, and you are the Deva among Devatas, and Paratopi Paraschasi, Vidhata Vedasamapi. You are superior than the superior divinities, and you are the Vedas among the Vidhatas. The word Udasina, I just want to show the meaning, significance of that. The word Asina means sitting. Utu means sitting at all, sitting at a higher level. So a person who is Udasina can generally known as indifferent, but the case here is of being indifferent on account of being superior. So you are untouched by the happenings below, and therefore you have transcended those attractions and pulls, and it's only such a person who can be called Udasina. In a way, a person who is neutral, for example, typically for the judge in a court has to be Udasina. He belongs neither to this party or not to that party, between two contending parties. So he will be exactly placed in between the middle point of the two, so that he is drawn neither to this side nor to that side, and is also in an elevated chair, so that he can view from above what's happening, so he can remain neutral. The word Udasina has so much of significance. So the Sankhya Purusha becomes Udasina once he gets this transcending of desires. So that is why it is sometimes called Trivarga and Apavarga. So Apavarga is beyond these Vargas. So there is a classification which transcends these. And when we are involved in Dharma, Artha and Kama, especially Artha and Kama, we are within the pull of Prakriti. And once that is transcended, then that becomes the real status of the Purusha there. And as we see in the Bhagavad Gita also, we find here our in the Vishnu Sahasranama, so we get some equations of how the divinity itself is what are the various things. Tvameva havyam hotacha, you are the offering into the fire and you are the performer of the sacrifice. Bhojyam bhoktacha shashvataha, you are the object of enjoyment and you are the enjoyer. You are the knower and you are the known. Vedyancha veditacha jata dhyencha yatparam. So, and you are the person who contemplates and you are the meditator. So, all aspects of life are yourself. So, everything is permeated by Brahman. Everything is animated by Brahman. So, it is these aspects of Brahman that the divinities pay to, and listening to their words, so the Brahma begins to speak. Vidyanidhi stutis shrutva yatharthaha hridayangama. Kalidasa says here, it's not as though he is some, say, a small tyrant who loves to be praised, so for him to do any favor. So these stutis are yatharthaha. In Sanskrit, the word artha means matter. Artha has several arthas in Sanskrit. So in the Amarkosha, 5 meanings of the word artha are given. Artho abhidheye rai vastu prayojana nivrittishu. So abhidheya means the meaning of the word. Rai means wealth. So in Artha Shastra, for example, how to handle wealth is also described. And then vastu, anything is also called artha. So that is why we say yathartha means as the thing is. So artha refers there to the thing there. And then prayojana means purpose. So gavarthe, for the sake of the cow, and so on. So one may even sacrifice his life for the sake of the cow. So say the Dharma Shastras, where the word artha is used in the sense of the purpose of, and so on. So these are the various senses of artha, and here it is yathartha and hridayangama. Hridayangama means appealing. So true and appealing. There is a little word in Sanskrit called sunrita, so which is lost in most Indian languages, which appears very frequently in the Vedas, and of course some of the poets have also used that word. Sunrita means what is both true and sweet. Generally things which are true are not sweet. Things which are sweet are not generally true. So that which is true as well as sweet. So when we need some work to be got done by somebody, we definitely need to dwell upon the positive merits of the person, and therefore prasadabhimukho vedaha. So Brahma became pleased with their words, and pratyuvachidokasa, and he replied. So the reply of Brahma itself is very interesting. So it runs to some 12 shlokas, and he looks at each divinity and says, so why are you looking dull? And you can see here in this context the hold that Kalidasa has upon language, and how naturally the expressions flow, and how full of propriety these words are. So he says, Swagatam swanadhikaran prabhavair avalambhyavaha yugapad yugabahubhyaha praktebhyaha prajya vikramaha. So kimidam yudimatmiyam vibhrati yathapra. Why is it that you gods are not looking as bright as you used to look? So for that he could use an upman. Kalidasa can give a comparison to any situation. Himatkrishta prakashani jyotim shiva mukhaniva. Your faces are looking just as bright as the sources of light in the midst of fog. So when it is befogged, even the stars, even the sun sometimes look dull. So the sun sometimes looks like the moon when there is so much of say fog and mist. So the faces of all these gods, himatklishta prakashani, like sources of light, so which are tormented by a thick mist. So jyotim shiva mukhani maha, you are looking so dull. And he refers to the various divinities, the Indra and others.
किमिदं द्युतिमात्मीयां न बिभ्रति यथा पुरा द्युतिं न बिभ्रति यथा पुरा हिमक्लिष्टप्रकाशानि ज्योतिं शिवमुखानि वः यथा पुरा द्युतिमात्मीयान् न बिभ्रति किमिदं द्युतिमात्मीयान् न बिभ्रति यथा पुरा हिमक्लिष्टप्रकाशानि ज्योतिं शिवमुखानि वः.
The raga Mukhari is best suited for describing situations like this. So he is pitying the gods. He says, "Oh Indra, what about you? What has happened to you? Your Vajrayudha looks like all its spikes being dulled at its end. Kuntita Ashri, Ashri in Sanskrit refers to the spikes on the Vajrayudha, the thunderbolt weapon of Indra. So Prashama Darchisham Etad Anudgirna Surayudham Vritrasya Hantuh Purisham Kuntita Ashri Lakshite." So the Vajrayudha of Indra, so it must have, see, this show its flames and sparks and brightnesses, so nothing of that is seen. Kinchai Maridurvaraha Pano Prashak Prachetasaha Mantrena Hatavidyasya Panino Dainamashitaha, and the Pasha that Varuna has. So it is with that, so it is called Pashi in Amarkosha. There is a reference to Varuna as Pracheta, Varuna of Pashi. So he holds the Pasha in his hand. So he himself and Yama have a very similar role. So they bring life to an end. And now the Pasha in the hand of Varuna looks like a serpent who has become powerless on account of some mantra. So mantrena hata viryasya. Kalidasa gives this analogy elsewhere also. This was prevalent in our country even till recent times. There is one Ayurvedic scholar in Chennai, in Kerala, in Trivandrum perhaps, so who refers to this, how the serpent bites are cured by the recitation of certain mantras and so on, and certain simple methods of removing the poison, so which he was himself witness to, but which practice has died down. So he has some photographs also of what he had seen in his earlier days. So with certain incantations, the power of the serpent can be brought to a halt. So the fierceness and the ferocity of the serpent, and even its force and even its anger can be made to subside with certain incantations. And there are, for example, mantras like the Garuda mantra, which are said to still the serpent. And therefore, Yama's Pasha looks like a serpent which is powerless, utterly powerless. Mantrena Hatavidyasya Panino Dainamashitaha. And then, how about this Kubera? So, Kuberasya Manasharyam Shamsativa Parabhavam Avavidha Gado Bahu Bhagna Shaka Ivodilma. He is supposed to hold a gada in his hand, and because of his stooping arm, it is as though he is like a tree whose branch has fallen down. Bhagna Shaka, it's broken. Bhagna Shaka Ivodilma, and therefore that his pain at heart is very evident. And then Yama Vilikhan Bhumin Dandena Astavita Trisha Kurtesmin Namo Hepi Nirvanalata Lagavam. So even Yama with his danda, so he's only itching something on the earth, so his Ayudha is also not functioning, and therefore what used to be like a firebrand, so for example you have a piece of iron, so which is red hot, and you turn it so fast, then there is what's called this alata chakra. So that kind of fire, instead of looking like that, it is looking so dull. So नमी च कथमादित्याः प्रतापक्षति शीतलाः चित्रन्यस्ता युगताः प्रकामालोकनीताम्. And there are these Dwadasha Adityas, 12 Adityas. And how dull have they become? They can all be easily seen now. You cannot easily normally gaze at the sun. But these 12 suns have become so dull that they are like once written in a piece of art, in a painting. And therefore they can all be easily gazed at. And then Paryapalatvan Murutam Vekabhango Nimiyate Ambhasam Mugasamrodha Pratyek Gamanadiva. And this Vayudeva has become so dull. It's like a flow of a river countered by a counter flow, so which is dulled and if you made this flow very dull, and therefore Vayu has also become so slow and dull. And then Avarjita Jatamoli Vilambi Shashikotekaha Rudrana Murdhana Kshatahumkara Shamsina. There are 11 Rudras, so Ekadasha Rudras, and those Rudras, they only have the hanging moon digit upon their hand, and there is no hunkara, so that with which they could threaten. So with a mere hunkara they could do so many things, and now they are also looking listless. Labdha pratishtha pratham yuyamkyam balavattaraihi apavadai yotsargaha vyavritaya. Now he brings in a grammatical comparison. He says, you all used to look bright like the general rules, and now you look so dull like the exceptions to those rules which overpower the rules. So apavada yotsargaha prata vyavritaya. So in grammar, in dharma shastras, in judicial transactions, everywhere exceptions overrule the general rule, and therefore you are all looking so very listless. And therefore he says, Tadbhuta vatsa kimita prartha yadhvam smagataha maisritte hilokana raksha vishma sosthita. So please tell me what you have come here for. After all, my portfolio is creation, and protection is actually your portfolio. So it has a settled jai, but then, namely that you are failing somewhere. So there is some lapse on your part. Okay, tell me what is it that I can do. So actually my role is only one of creation. So that is how Brahma often gives the boon to any demon who asks for any boon. So even for good people he gives the boon. So Srishti is his karya. So Sthiti is somebody else's portfolio. And therefore he says, actually the various divinities, you are designed to give protection to the world, and what's going wrong? So this is what he asks. I think we must stop here because time is up. So we started a little late today, but in the next one we will finish this. And the third canto is beautiful. In fact, it's called Madana Dahana. So the holy festival is also drawing close. So we can perhaps have one lecture on